is not the only place where representation matters. Players like Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, and Jeremy Lin are changing the game in sports. And so is Arshay Cooper. He was a part of the very first African-American rowing team. He is a U.S. Rowing Golden Oars winner and has gone on to become a motivational speaker. I would love to talk about representation in sports because you were a part of the first Black rowing team. You're the only person I know. It's unheard of. So I really want to talk to you about what your experience was like being a part of such an interesting and different group.
Just a little background, our school was on the west side of Chicago. It was the second most violent school in the city. I walked in the lunchroom, I saw this huge boat there, and I was like, oh, what is that, you know? And this lady came, and she said, hey, would you like to be a part of the crew team? And I was like, crew? Like in Chicago, if you hear the word crew, your mom tell you run the other way as fast as you can, because Chicago's pretty crazy. And so I looked at this TV monitor, and I seen nothing but white people rowing. And I was like, oh no, thank you. And I walked away, and I sat next to my friend. I was like, I don't even swim. And he talked me into checking it out after school. There was this Jewish guy, and he was like this intense Bernie Sanders kind of guy. He talked about the power of rowing and the power of being part of a team. And he said something that was really profound. He said, every time you conquer a fear, life get a lot less scary. And I remember saying, okay, I want to do this. And I learned how to swim and start rowing, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, what was that like specifically, being someone from Chicago, to be a part of a sport that, I mean, to just be completely candid, people would consider a white sport? Just personally, how did that feel?
For me, it felt great, but the problem was we got it from the people in the neighborhood. We would walk with our uniforms on, and everyone would start singing, row, row, row your boat, making fun of us. And even the people that were white would look at us like, what are these kids doing here? So we got it from both ends. Like, we felt like we couldn't win. We had to take it serious ourselves. We had to get stronger. And our first race, we ran into a brick wall. And
with the boat?
With the boat. And I remember we were the only brown folks around. And I remember looking up, and we seen all these faces, white faces, just like, and we was like, never again. But after that, we started working hard. We started running. We became a team. We started winning, you know, and we started doing an amazing job. The media loved us. After that, we began to make a difference in our school. You know, it was not just about rowing. It was about, you know, becoming a team, a brotherhood, and that made the biggest difference in the school.
So often, we don't think about how sports really can bring people together. I mean, in your instance, from multiple gangs. Why do you think it's important for young people, and just anyone really, to see people that look like themselves in various areas?
Yeah, I think it's simple. I think, you know, they always said when you was young, if you can see it, you can believe it. Rowing completely changed my life. But I said no at first because I looked at that TV and I see no one who looks like me. And that sport gives everyone the opportunity, great scholarships to go to college. You know, a lot of my friends would have turned down an opportunity if one person didn't stand up on that gym room floor and said, I want to do it. And once we saw one person that looked like us said, hey, I want to do this, then we all was like, all right, let's give it a shot.
Where do we find the inspiration inside of ourselves to actually cross that barrier and to say, I'm going to become the representation that I want to see?
A great question. When I was 15, we would have these speakers come speak at our school, and they were all older. And I remember sitting there saying, where's the young people? Like, where's the young speakers? Someone my age who's going through the same thing that I was going through. And I knew at that point that I had to be that person. So we did a challenge with our coach, and we said, hey, can we go to the juvenile center? Can we be the person that go around and tell everyone about this sport? We saw everything that was missing in our community, and we would go to those places and say, hey, if you don't have a father, get a coach. If your brothers are in gangs, join a team. And at a young age, you have to find the strength within you to do it. You have to read the books. You have to do the step out of yourself and represent something a little bit bigger than yourself. When I think of Martin Luther King, I don't think of educated preacher, I think of hope. When I think of Harriet Tubman, I don't think about the fact that she was a Union spy, I think about freedom. So we were rowers, but we had to represent something a little bit bigger than ourselves. I am the one I've been waiting for. And when you decide to do that, that's when change happens. That's when people begin to step up and not represent yourself, but everyone around you.
I mean, I have nothing else to say. You just blew me away, sir.